So welcome in to the show after the show. This is going to be a regular occurrence now. This is going to come out every...
More conversational.
Yeah, more conversational. This isn't prepared at all. We're just going to talk. And if you want more content from the bros, this is going to come out every Friday morning at 4 a.m. PT, 7 a.m. ET. And just some extra content from us. So, anyway, I was telling Corey and Casey earlier, we were playing Overcooked. Amy and I do on a regular basis because we have a TV in our room. And we played tonight, you and Hannah and me and Amy. And,
second time ever for me.
And do you remember playing it with me and Corey, Casey, and Nampa?
Yeah, I do. I played it. I own it.
Oh, that's right.
So I played it. Yeah, I've played it with a bunch of people, and it is borderline it's more stressful than Dark Souls, honestly.
It was super fun. We killed it for the first 3 rounds, and then we hit the 4th round, and I think I mentioned at the beginning of this last show where we had the treadmill, and there's this little lane in the middle, and we were all just stuck in that little lane for the most part, like smacking each other around trying to get through to get the food out or to get sushi cut.
They're like, oh, we need rice. All right.
Everybody goes to the rice.
Oh no! We need a little fish. Okay.
It was.
Wait, are you doing was it Overcooked 2?
Yes, Overcooked 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't really played Overcooked 2. I do have Overcooked 2. I think you gave it to me, Kevin.
Yes, it's fantastic. You should play it.
I haven't played Overcooked 2. I own Overcooked and Overcooked 2, but I haven't played Overcooked 2 yet.
Overcooked 2 is fantastic. I love Overcooked 2.
How many times can we
They're
say
both pretty much the same. Let's say Overcooked 2 3 more times.
Overcooked 2.
Oh yeah, Overcooked 2 and Overcooked. Yeah, that's great.
So Kevin, did you watch any of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I went to bed right after we did the podcast yesterday, and I immediately showed Amy it. Took us to 11 o'clock, and then I went to sleep. And then today has been extremely busy. I haven't had a chance to do much of anything yet.
That's fine. I will keep bugging you until you watch it.
I will
because it is great.
Explain to us and to everybody else what on earth you like about anime.
Well,
certain
anime.
I saw this. You sent a text to me and Corey of a guy grabbing a deer, and he's in body armor. He looks like a fat school teacher. He's in Kevlar, and there's a deer running at him, and he grabs the deer and he body slams it. And this is what Casey enjoys.
Over his head.
Yes.
He does a back bang.
Hey,
boom.
You know that was a clip though from like an anime that's so dumb. It's so over the top that it becomes funny. But what I genuinely like about anime, here you go. So what's interesting about Japanese culture, just looking at it, is it's completely different than American culture. And it's interesting to see some of the differences. They are much less politically correct and are not afraid to make a specific point in the things that they do. And then also, I really am a big fan of the art style. I think some of the anime can be really pretty. Now, take this all with a grain of salt, because I do know there are lots of anime with bad stuff, and I tend to stay away from that.
So
I'm very selective.
Quick clarifying question. So when you say
what's
make
that?
A point, is this with English subtitles or in English?
So there's subs and dubs. Subtitles, some shows only are subtitled, but the way I prefer it is dubbed, because it's much easier to follow when you can hear it and don't have to be reading it.
The man took the deer and slammed him over his head. The deer slammed into the man.
Casey and I take no responsibility for Kevin's pronunciation.
I'm not being able to swear, I promise.
Kelsey and I just started watching like at the beginning of quarantine, and we've just been having a lot of fun with it. So we've watched some good stuff. So here's my quick two show recommendation. Okay.
Okay.
Both on Netflix. Go watch A Silent Voice. It is a movie. And go watch Violet Evergarden. All right.
Okay.
Those are two really good ones.
We'll add it to my ever-growing list of movies I haven't seen and need to. That I can't get over the hump of it being anime. That's my mental hurdle.
You just have to accept it. So that was how I felt at first a little bit, and I was just like, this is just the way it is. And then once you do that, it's like, this is actually kind of fun.
Alright, I will do it for you.
It's stupid, but it's fun.
I will do it for you. Because you're my bro. I will watch an episode of anime.
Well, do this. Watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm recommending that to you because that's an American show.
Okay.
That's just an anime art style. Okay. So it'll get you eased into it if you really want to try it out.
Which you guys showed Hannah and I a couple of those episodes. That was pretty good. The ones that we saw.
Off the subject of anime, have you seen all the Back to the Future episodes, or all the Back to the Futures? 1, 2, and 3?
I don't know if I have.
You haven't seen all the Back to the Futures? I was
Well,
just thinking about
Back
Back
to
to
the
the Future
Future.
the other day.
So there's the original one.
Yep. So there's the one where he goes back to the past to 1955
Yeah.
and meets his mom, and his mom falls in love with him.
Then
he goes back to the future to 2015 in the second one.
okay, I think I've seen that one.
And
Isn't
then
there one with a train?
that's the third one.
That's the third one.
So he goes
Okay.
to.
I think you've seen all of them,
1895.
Corey.
Okay.
It's just been a long time.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't remember the second or third one much at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
You guys need to watch the second and third one again. Back to the Future is a fantastic series. That's my absolute drop dead favorite movie series of all time, and I have to religiously watch them every year. And I'll make Amy sit there and watch them with me. Every
More
year.
than Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, and we're going through the Lord of the Rings right now, and it is a masterpiece in filmmaking. That is art.
It's so
Yes.
great.
That is good.
Well, and I really like all the biblical themes that are in Lord of the Rings. That's something I really like to see in shows is good biblical themes, or at least really good characters that have good morals.
Lord of the Rings,
I
you
don't
got very
like-
clear, light, and dark.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the shows or movies that have the hero be like an anti-hero,
like
or
the villain.
the villain is kind of a good guy, or the villain is the main character. I'm not a huge fan of those types of
You
movies.
can relate to the villain.
Well, there's a difference. Like a villain that becomes good is different. Like if there's a change in the villain, that's fine.
Okay, let's take it down the rabbit hole. I want to take it down the rabbit hole in this one. So let's say a movie that has a villain. Like I was, I asked you the question of, can you relate to the villain? So a relatable villain in my mind is a villain that has a purpose to why they're being bad. So they've had a tragedy in their life, or they're fighting against the government and killing people because they feel like the government has destroyed so many things, and they want like Thanos.
I was going to bring up Thanos.
Thanos has a
Yeah.
purpose because he's trying to eliminate starvation and hunger.
Yeah, I mean he's completely messed up in his rationale for doing it, but yeah.
So do you want
He
your
thinks
villains
he's
to
doing
be?
something.
So I'll ask that question. Do you want your villains to be clearly bad, or do you not mind having a relatable villain, or at least understanding?
I'm fine with
that?
having a villain that has because all villains in real life also have a reasoning behind why they're doing something. As long as you're portraying that as clearly bad, I mean, Thanos is a good example of Thanos is clearly bad. Like you can understand a little bit like his rationale behind it, but at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that he's completely insane.
Yeah. And on that one, too, it's like when Thanos is winning, and especially in the first Avengers the first Avengers movie, where Thanos sort of wins, it's kind of depressing because evil has won and there's no comeback, and you're expecting this comeback of the good people to win.
For what was that?
What? I'm saying I agree with you that when you have someone who's an evil villain, you don't want them ultimately to be praised for their evil actions. So, like in Avengers, at the end of that first one, you end up depressed because evil has won. And you're wanting this sequel to come because you want good to succeed again. Yeah.
Yep. It does in the end.
Yep.
And that, I mean, you have to view those two movies together. The villain, and I'm going to try and sell Avatar Last Airbender for you, Kevin, more.
Okay, go
because the villain in that, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but the bad guy in that has the best character arc. And I hope you watch it to the end because
I will watch
it's
it
good.
for you. I will definitely watch it.
All right.
I will
Thank
tell
you.
that I will.
You make me happy.
Happy Clamper?
You make me happy.
So for an example of the type of thing, the movie where I don't like the way they portray the villains, that would be like Suicide Squad would be a good example.
Yes.
Where the bad guys, they don't really change, and they're the good guys.
Yeah.
You know, there's like no change in character. They're just good for some reason. They're just the protagonist, I guess.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Well, that's all interesting. Anything else, guys, before we sign off?
I don't think so.
So, one parting comment to this. So, this is obviously was a little bit more serious in this show after the show, and that's the point of the show after the show is just some commentary on life or whatever we're thinking through. And the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown is a comedy podcast through and through. If you want a little something more serious and you just want to hear some of our thoughts that we're going through and just hear us chat.
Some of us complex gentlemen that we are.
Oh, yes. That's the show after the show. We'll probably come up with a name for this this bit of it. But anyway, that's it for us, guys. And we will see you next Friday for the show after the show and Tuesday for the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown.